Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Belle again. So today, we're going to talk about Trump cutting the Pentagon budget. Only not. So, the reporting went out. Trump planned on cutting the Pentagon budget by 8% per year for the next 5 years. Once that reporting hit, people had their immediate reactions. Some said it showed Trump was a peaceful president. Some declared the end of American primacy. Some were excited to see a bloated budget cut. Me? I was waiting to see the next round of reporting. And sure enough, we have a memo that seems to indicate the 8% cut is actually a 0% cut. The acting Deputy Secretary of Defense put out a memo saying there were no cuts, but instead, quote, offsets. If you're not familiar with government budget speak, that's robbing Peter to pay Paul. If you buy 8% less boots so you can buy more helmets, that's an offset. You're not cutting the budget, you're moving money around. They're looking to find $50 billion to fund, quote, programs aligned with President Trump's priorities. Just as a reminder, specifying a percentage to cut instead of looking for inefficiencies is literally the worst way to do this. An 8% cut over that 5-year period would be a reduction of about $300 billion. What's the reality in Congress? You know, the entity that actually determines the budget and that holds the purse strings. Well, the Senate Armed Services Committee Chairman Roger Wicker from Mississippi recently said the plan was $200 billion. Hey, that is closer than any of these numbers have been in a long, long time. White House says $300 billion. Congress says $200 billion. That's almost normal politics. Oh, I'm sorry. Congress is saying $200 billion more, not $300 billion less. So to be clear on this, the reporting says an 8% cut. Based on the memo, that doesn't look accurate. It looks like they're moving 8% of already allocated funding to Trump priorities, which is probably border projects and what he's calling the Iron Dome. The $300 billion over 5 years seems unlikely because Congress appears to be going the other way. Does this mean there won't be any cuts? No, not at all. There very well could be cuts. That's just not what this is. At least, not by going off the memo. Does it mean that the money being moved isn't a big deal? It definitely doesn't mean that. This is still big news because the current budget of the military is about to take a bit of a big hit to pay for Trump's pet projects. If DOJ then jumps in and makes things more efficient, I would expect a lot of issues at the Pentagon for at least a year. Moving around that much money is going to cause confusion and disruption, and probably at least some temporary damage to readiness. We'll keep you updated, but if you were hoping this meant there was going to be a drastic reduction in Pentagon spending, well, it doesn't look like it. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.